Ever get that feeling like something big is going on, but you can't quite see it?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Well, today, we're going high above the Earth for our deep dive.
Oh, how high are we talking?
About 60 miles up
Mm-hmm.
to a place where there are powerful electric currents, much stronger than anything we see down here.
Wow, that's pretty high up. What kind of currents are up there?
These things are called electrojets. And you know those auroras, the northern and southern lights? They're actually connected.
Wait, so those beautiful shimmering lights are side effects of electricity?
That's right. These electrojets are like invisible rivers of electricity, flowing high up in the atmosphere in a place called the ionosphere.
So it's more than just a light show up there.
Definitely more. In fact, these electrojets can have a big impact on us down here on Earth,
Yeah.
especially on our technology.
Really?
Yeah, but the thing is, we don't fully understand these electrojets yet. That's why we're doing this deep dive.
Okay, so we've got these like massive power lines in the sky, and we don't even know how they really work.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's both amazing and a little scary, honestly. So how big are these electrojets? Are we talking like a lightning bolt or?
Well, a lightning bolt is powerful, but it's very localized. Electrojets are different.
Different how?
Imagine a river of electricity, hundreds of kilometers wide, flowing thousands of amps of current. It makes lightning look tiny.
Wow, okay, that puts things in perspective. So what makes these electrojets form in the first place?
They're created from the sun's energy interacting with the Earth's magnetic field.
Ah, I see. So that's where the space weather connection comes in.
Exactly. And our source material actually mentions that NASA is launching a mission this month to specifically study electrojets.
Really? What's it called?
It's called EZIE, which stands for Electrojet Zeeman Imaging Explorer. But why study these things now? What's the big rush?
Well, because these electrojets are a major player in what are called geomagnetic storms.
And those storms can cause some major problems, right?
Absolutely. They can disrupt all sorts of technology we depend on here on Earth. Satellites, power grids, communication systems, you name it.
Oh, well, so we're talking about like GPS, going haywire, blackouts, that kind of thing.
Exactly. We're incredibly reliant on technology that is vulnerable to these events. That's why learning more about electrojets and space weather is so important.
So tell me a bit about EZIE. How does this mission actually work? I read that it uses these tiny satellites called CubeSats. It seems odd, using something so small to study something so big.
It is pretty ingenious. They have 3 CubeSats, and each one is about the size of a suitcase. And they're going to be flying information up there.
What will they be doing up there?
They use an instrument called the Microwave Electrojet Magnetogram to map the magnetic fields of the electrojets from space.
Hold on. I read that this instrument, this magnetogram thing, was developed by NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
That's right.
But aren't they the ones that, land rovers on Mars? What's the connection?
Well, there's more of a connection than you might think. You see, understanding space weather, and that includes electrojets, is super important for protecting astronauts and equipment on any mission beyond Earth.
Ah, that makes sense.
Plus, learning about electrojets here helps us understand how other planets with magnetic fields, like Mars, might experience their own versions of these phenomena.
Oh, that's fascinating. So EZIE is going to launch soon and provide us with so much more data on electrojets.
Hopefully.
What are scientists hoping to achieve with this mission? What's the ultimate goal?
The big dream, the big hope, is to be able to accurately forecast space weather, just like we forecast the weather down here. Right now, we can detect geomagnetic storms as they happen, but predicting their intensity and what their effects are going to be is still really difficult.
And that's where EZIE comes in.
Exactly. The data that it gathers should help us significantly improve those predictions, and that'll allow us to take steps to protect our infrastructure down here on Earth. So it has some pretty big implications.
So we've gone from these beautiful auroras to potential technological disasters, and it all comes back to these invisible rivers of power in the sky. It's been quite a journey.
It has.
Any parting thoughts for our listeners before they go and, Google images of auroras?
Here's something to think about. We've talked a lot about the negative impacts of space weather, but just imagine if we could actually harness the energy of these electrojets.
You mean like use them as a power source?
Yeah, like a power source.
Yeah.
I know it sounds far-fetched, but it's a really interesting idea. And who knows what other mysteries we'll uncover as we learn more about this hidden world above us. There's still so much we don't know.
Well, that's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.